Do you know what musical instrument is made from 22 feet of coiled metal and you can often hear in movie soundtracks? Well, let's find out today. Come on, it's music time. I'm here with Mr. Jarrett Hansen, the brand new band director over at Port Angeles High School, and he just happens to be a French horn player, and he's decided to share with us some cool information about the French horn. So Jarrett, why did you start playing the French horn in the first place?
Well, in Chimacum, I grew up in Chimacum. You start band in 5th grade, and I wanted to play trumpet, and then French horn was my second option, trombone was my third option. And so my mom went to the school to pick out an instrument for me, and my band director at the time got a hold of her and said, if your son, plays French horn, he's going to get some scholarships for college. And it'll be a lot harder on trumpet, but it'll be easier for him to get scholarships if he plays French horn. And so, being a mother, she heard that and was excited and brought home a French horn, and I said, I'm not playing that. I don't want to play that. I told you to get a trumpet. Very frustrated 5th grader. And she said, well, why don't you try it for a week or two? See if you like it. If you really don't, then we'll get you a trumpet. So then I showed up to the first day of band. My band director showed me how everything worked and where the music was. I already knew how to read music from playing piano. And there was only one other French horn player in my grade. And so I saw all the trumpet players, 20, 30 trumpet players and one other French horn player. And I thought, this could be cool because I kind of have a special role to play that not really anyone else gets to do. And then, recalling hearing horns all the time in movie soundtracks, and just the opportunity to be important to the band and kind of have that backseat role, but sometimes, get to be the hero of the story. It just fit, and I've stuck with it ever since.
Was she right? Did you get those scholarships?
Yes, I did get a scholarship for playing French horn to go to Central Washington. So, your mom is always right. Just remember that.
So, how does the French horn work?
Well, the horn works like a lot of other brass instruments. You blow into one end, and sound comes out the other. You do that by buzzing your lips together, vibrating your lips, blowing air through them into the mouthpiece, which then goes through the horn and comes out the end. And you have different valves like all the other brass instruments except for trombone, and you can press those down to play different notes, and then that makes the air go through different types of tubing.
I'm sure many of us have been wondering, why does the French horn look so silly?
Well, originally there were no valves and there was a lot less tubing than is here. And it would be in this shape, but it would go around a person because they use them for hunting. And somebody would blow into it and there'd be a certain call to say, hey, the fox is over here. Hey, we need to go over here because the pheasant is over here, whatever they were hunting. And so to kind of hold on to something that would be, a straight piece of metal and then try and ride the horse would be kind of difficult. So originally wrapped around the person or you could sling it over your arm. It's 22 feet of tubing in order to create the sound that a French horn makes. And so for that to be stretched out straight would be a very funny looking instrument, and it'd be very difficult to play. And it'd be kind of hard to fit within the band or the orchestra. So that's why it ended up in this shape, a lot more compact than it could be.
That's really cool. So where can I find people playing the horn?
Well, all over movie soundtracks. Lots of melodies. Star Wars is probably the biggest one that people know horn from. Just thousands and thousands of movies. The horn has the melody. And But bands, orchestras, the band here at the high school, in the symphony orchestra locally, and if you go to Seattle Symphony concert, your usual YouTube, if you just type in French horn, you'll get thousands and thousands of answers.
Now, I think what we've all been wanting to hear from you is your French horn. So could you play something for us?
Sure.
Beautiful. Well, Mr. Jarrett Hansen, I want to thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your wonderful knowledge all about the French horn.
Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Excited to be a part of this Port Angeles community and lead the band program, and take our rich history and take it to the next level and to the next step. When you're a sixth grader, join the band program. You can play French horn. It'd be great if we had 300 French horn players, but join the band program. I'm excited to meet you when you're a high school student, and continue to watch these videos from your music teachers at the elementary school. They're putting out great stuff, and they're doing a great job. And just thanks so much for having me, and go Riders.
Thank you. Well, now we're going to head over to Rhythms with Mr. Cobb.
Hey everyone, Mr. Cobb here with Rhythms for today's episode of Music Time. We'll start off together with one rhythm card at a time, and then 2 cards at a time, and then we'll increase the tempo for our challenge round. Let's get started. All right, so for our first section through the rhythms, we're going to do them 1 card at a time, and you repeat each card 2 times, and then we'll go on to the next card. All right, here we go. Let's get our music started. Feel that beat? Here we go. 1, 2, twice through. T-T-Top, 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 T-T-Top. Rest, 2, start again. Top, T-T-T-T-Top, top, T-T-T-T-Top. That's the way. Top, 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 top. 1, 2, 3, 4. T-T-Top, top, top, T-T-Top, top, top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Top, T-T-Top, 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 T-T. 2 more. 1, 2, ready, go. Top, 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 T-T-Top, top, top, T-T. Last one. 1, 2, ready, go. Top, 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 top. All right, you did it. All right, for this next part of the video, instead of doing 1 card 2 times, we're going to do 2 cards 1 time each. So when you get to the end here, jump right over to the next card. We're going to use the same music, which is called In Like a Lion, Out Like a Lamb. So you might hear a lion roaring in there if you were wondering what that was, or a lamb bleating. Here we go. 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, ready, go. Top, top, T-T-T-T, top, top, top. That's the way. 1, 2, start again. Top, 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 T-T-T-T. That's it. 1, 2, ready, go. Top, 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 top. 1, 2, ready, go. Top, T-T-T-T-T, top, top. Good, let's do a couple more. 1, 2, ready, go. T-T-T-T, ta, 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 T-T-T-T-T. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 Tee-tee-tee-tee-ta-ta. Last one. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 sh, sh, ta, ta, ta. You notice our last one is a reflection. This one is the same rhythm as that one, just backwards. Good job. And for our last section today, this is our challenge round. Just like before, we're going to do 2 cards, 1 time each. So when you finish here, you jump in right here. But we are going at a faster tempo. We're going to be using the song Be a Superhero that the 4th, 5th, and 6th graders are using for their rhythms today. This one is fast, so remember, if it's too fast, you don't have to do this section, but I encourage you to go back and try it again and see if you can keep up with it. All right, here we go. Challenge tempo. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta, sh, ta, ta, ta. That's the way. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ti, 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 ta, ta. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, sh, ta, ta, ti, 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 ti. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, sh, ta, sh, ta, sh, ta. Halfway through. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta, ti, 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 ta, sh, ta, sh. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, sh, ta, 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 ti, 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 ti. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, 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 sh, ta, sh, ta, ta. Last one. 1, 2, ready, go. Ta, ta, sh, ta, 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 sh. You did it. Remember, you can go back and try this part again if you want to. Well, that's going to do it for Rhythms with Mr. Cobb for this episode. We'll see you next time.
I'm here in the Port Angeles High School band room, standing next to this awesome bass drum. I'm here to tell you that up next is Elements of Music with Miss Kramer.
Well, greetings, my fellow music treasure hunters and decoders. So 2 weeks ago, we began decoding the recorder song, Be a Good Student, to begin learning how to follow the treasure map of a piece of music. We discovered a ton of things that you could learn about a piece of music from looking just at the beginning of the music before any of the notes actually even start. We learned what the time signature is and what it tells us, and about measures and how to count them. And we also learned about the treble clef and what that means. So today we are going to continue our journey. Okay, so now we have one more thing from the beginning of our song that is going to be part of our code that we need to crack, and that is tempo. Remember, that's how fast or slow our song will be played. So it says that our tempo will be lively Latin. And it says that it's going to be 152 beats per minute, like this. This would be allegro, fast. Okay, so now, before we get to figuring out the path that we will follow when we actually play, not only is our song fast, but it's also forte. Loud. All right. So now what? Well, now we need to figure out the pathway that we're going to take while playing the song. And the most successful treasure hunts are those that have a good map and someone who knows how to read it. One where you follow the clues to get the treasure. So, let's see what our musical map is telling us for this song. The first thing that we're going to do is look to see if there are any repeat signs. Do you see any? Good. Here's the first one. Now I want you to notice they're facing each other. if you think about the two dots as two eyes of a smiley face. And here's where they are in our music. So what this means is that we start playing our music, and when we get to the first repeat sign, we're going to keep playing through it. But when we get to the end, there's the second smiley face looking right at you with its two dot eyes. It's telling you in a very friendly way to stop and go back to the other repeat sign. And now you're going to play the whole section again. And in this song, you're going to repeat this section 3 times. It tells you so right here. Now, on the third time, though, you're going to do something different. Because right here is another very important part of our code to crack. It says, to coda third time. So that little symbol that looks like this is called a coda. And what it means is that it wants you to stop playing the rest of the repeat and to look for the other coda near the end of the song. So you're going to jump. You're going to jump to the other coda and keep playing from there. But then what do we do? Well, I'll bet you've already noticed that there is another symbol at the end of our music. It looks a lot like a repeat sign, but it doesn't have the two dots or eyes. It only has two lines. This is what we call our double bar line. Instead of just one line at the end of the measure, there are two, and it means we are through. Woohoo!
Okay, let's put it all together and give it a go.
Wow, what a journey. That was a lot. And you made it. And can you guess what the treasure was that we found? Well, knowledge, my friends. Knowledge. We grew our brains and learned the beginnings of how to do something new. Unlocking the secret codes and learning the language of music opens doors to a world of endless possibilities, creative adventures, and amazing friendships. Hey, thanks for being on the journey with me.
Well, up next we have voice class with Mrs. Eyestone.
Those were some amazing yo-yo skills. Can you imagine how much you'd have to practice to be that good? The guy's name is Gentry Stein, in case you wanted to look him up, and he is a world yo-yo champion. In an interview, he said he practices 6 hours a day. I can believe it if you want to get that good. To be really good at anything, it takes practice. And it's the same for singing. Now, we're all singers. Even babies are singers, if you count crying. But to be a really good singer, you need to practice and develop your vocal skills. You need to exercise your muscles. Remember the vocal exercises that Mr. Reynolds taught us? Well, I have a yo-yo exercise, not actually with a real yo-yo. We're gonna sing yo-yo to help exercise our muscles and develop some muscle memory to help us support and produce the kind of vocal sounds we want to make. For this exercise, we want to emphasize the first sound of Y and then release the sound in a nice round shape of O, like this, yo, okay? As we repeat that over and over, we're exercising the sides and tip of our tongue to consistently make the right shape for the right sound. So the exercise will sound like this. Yo, 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 yo. Every time we lift up, every time we go up, the soft palate at the back of our throat lifts and our tongue lowers, creating a nice open shape to release that nice, clear, round sound. The higher you want to sing, the higher you lift that soft palate. Your soft palate and your tongue are muscles that we use to sing. Ready for our yo-yo exercise? It's simple enough that I think even our youngest singers can do this one. We'll sing up and down the scale 6 times, and each time we do, we'll move it up a step. Just follow me and the chords you hear on the piano. Ready? Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Nice job. Now, vocal exercises are meant to warm up our voice for good singing, so let's put this to a song. Our song is called A Yo-Yo State of Mind. Part 1 is the yo-yo exercise we just did, and part 2 is its own melody with lyrics. And it sounds like this. I'm in a yo-yo state of mind, playing all the time. Oh, oh, yo-yo, I'm playing all the time. Oh, oh, yo-yo, So we sing through our song 3 times. The first time through, we sing part 1, the yo-yo exercise. Part 2 is the melody I just sang. And the third time through, we put part 1 and part 2 together. Now we're going to sing along with some vocals. So first time through, we'll sing it in unison together, part 1, sing in unison with me on part 2. When we get to part 3, you can choose which part you'd like to do, the one that you're most comfortable with. Ready?
Well, it's been really cool to hang out here with Mr. Jarrett Hansen in the Port Angeles High School band room and just get to know him a little bit today. And you know what? It's really good getting to know you guys. Well, I'll see you next week right here at Music Time.